What is going on, guys? It's Raul here. We are back for the second round of the 2025 Colton Open in Colton, Southern California. We are doing the lead card, which is John Ryan, Logan Turner, Adrian Aviles, and Adam Martinez on the card this time. He's also a disc golfer out of Southern California in San Diego with Adrian Aviles, and this is my first time meeting him and seeing him play, so it'll be fun getting to see his game and see how that matches up with the other competitors. Cool. So starting it off at 13 down, we got John Ryan playing the par 4. I think it's like 430 or so, maybe a little bit less, but it's uphill, so it plays far. He throws another dime to about 20 feet. Gonna have a short putt for the eagle. Just a perfect lefty line if you have that power. Here's Logan Turner. Kind of played it a little bit safer last round. Looks to be getting a little bit more aggressive. He probably knows he needs the strokes. And throws a really good shot. He's gonna have a putt too. Here's Adrian throwing that wind dragon. Gonna be hyzer flipping this thing all day. Gets it on a solid angle, kind of turning over, and just slides into the face of the hill there. That's gonna be a pretty short eagle putt as well. Looks like Adam's also ripping a wind dragon. Kind of puts it on a little bit more anhyzer out of the hand. Doesn't necessarily want to come out of it, but he's gonna have a jump putt for the eagle. Gives it a pretty solid bid. Just going to be a little bit long there for his birdie putt. Logan giving that a soft bid, but doesn't want to necessarily give up his birdie. And yeah, Adrian definitely wanted that one and hits a solid putt to start off the round. John Ryan, to keep his good disc golf going, starts off the round with another eagle. That's 2 eagles on hole 1, so that's some good disc golf. Here's Adam for his birdie putt. And just airballs it left. Maybe a little bit nervy with the cameras on him, but still has a chance for the par. Just not as not the way you want it. And just comes up a little bit low. Gonna have to take the bogey, but it's all right. There's plenty of holes to work with. All right, moving on to hole 2. We got the shorter par 5. I think it's probably just under 900 feet, maybe like 8 something, 850 or so. So it's definitely eagleable with a couple of good drives. John Ryan leaks it out a little bit. Adrian smashing one, just doesn't quite get it to turn. That could have been good for sure. Just fades it out to the left-hand side. He'll have a shot for the eagle though. Logan also just popping this up on too much hyzer. He's been getting that thing flat and kind of turning it this whole time, and just popped that one up on a little bit too much hyzer. Adam, little hyzer flip on the right side, just not getting it to flat. Gonna have a shot into the green as well though. Tee shot's downhill, so it gives you a little bit of extra distance. And Logan getting a good flip out of this guy. He's gonna be up there for a long jump putt. Probably just a little upshot though. Adam throwing that wind dragon, getting it to flex out pretty good. And yeah, got to skip up there. He'll definitely have an opportunity for an eagle. Get that bogey stroke back from the first hole. Adrian throwing this flippy driver. I'm not sure which one this is. It's the yellow one he's been throwing, not the wind dragon, but turns it over a little bit much. He's gonna have a long bid at it for the eagle. Got John Ryan throwing a forehand. He could definitely get there. Looks like he threw a solid shot, another long bid. Yeah, it looks like Logan's just laying that one up. It's a little bit far to give it actually a good run. This one's definitely within territory though, which means the others are too. And gives it a good run. It kind of just straightened out. I'm actually curious what he's putting with. So here's John Ryan to go 4 down in 2 holes. Just barely misses it right. That's a tap-in birdie though. Same with Adrian to go 4 down and only get 1 on John Ryan. Just a little high, a little leaky. And there you go, a couple of good birdies. Alright, hole 3. I think this one's about 340, 350 or so. Just got to shoot it over the green and hit that hillside. John Ryan does that perfectly. Here's Adrian. Round 1, he kind of threw this shot low and hit it into the hillside on the right. This side gives it a little bit more air and parks it. That was a great shot with a nice neutral disc. I think Logan's going for something a little bit faster, a little more stable, trying to play a little bit more of a swingy line, and it looks like he just doesn't push it far enough and ends up on the green. He's going to be putting for par, and Adam just does what Adrian did, just throws it a little bit too low. Not a bad line, just starts it a little bit too low, throws an upshot. Going to have just a little bit of work for the par save. Here's Logan to save his par. Really good bid. Just a couple inches low. John Ryan to keep his good start going. That's 4 down through 3 holes. And just a little bit of a bounce out on the left-hand side there. Maybe rushed it a little bit, or maybe he was just a little bit off, but he's going to have to settle for the bogey. And Adrian with a good birdie. All right, hole 4, pretty straightforward. John Ryan's going to be throwing this little lefty turnover. I think it's probably only 230, 240. He leaks it a little bit, just puts a little bit more air under it this time and kind of fades out at the end of the flight. I think a hyzer is good to this basket. The straight shot just kind of makes it to where if you straighten it out, you're going to be pushing away from the basket, which Adrian kind of does, but he'll still be in the circle. I think Logan goes with a little bit more of the hyzer line. So tosses it wide on hyzer, but leaves it a little bit too low. Doesn't give it enough time to swing back. He's going to have some work to do. Adam going with the higher hyzer line. See if that gets back in time. And just kind of drops. Doesn't quite get to the basket. But they all have solid putts at it, and Logan converts. He's been putting pretty solid all weekend, so that was a good putt to save his birdie on a shorter hole. Same with John. He's been putting really well even when his drives aren't perfect. He's been making up for it with his good putting. Adam just a little bit off. Pushes it to the right a little bit. See if Adrian can keep his perfect start going. Yeah, really good start. Little cleanup there from Adam. And on to hole 5. This one is just to the left of this green. We're going to see kind of in line with those 2 palm trees that John Ryan's skipping towards.
That's what I was getting up by the tee.
That looks pretty solid. All the righties are going to be trying to skip it off the green. Adrian just early releases it, but he is throwing a straighter disc, so it does work out. So he'll have maybe 40 feet or so. I know Logan's trying to put this one wide and definitely try to get a little bump off the green. Looks to be pretty solid. And yeah, it does get the skip he wanted. He'll be inside the circle. See if Adam can try to do that same thing. Starts it right. Looks to be pretty good. Just doesn't quite get the same skip. I think he flattened it out initially. So when it was coming down a little bit flatter. Opposed to Logan threw a overstable disc on hyzer the whole time, so it was swinging right out of the hand. Here's Adrian to keep his good start going. Probably just outside the circle. Just a little bit low. A little tentative. It's a sloped green, so probably didn't want to run it super hard. And Adrian almost caught up to Logan really fast, so Logan is probably feeling that pressure a little bit and hits a good putt there to climb one back. Another good birdie from John. Alright, hole 6, another one that's around that 340 range. This one, the green is on the left, so John's going to try to bump a little forehand off the green and just get a skip to the basket. I lost his disc for a second there. This is definitely when the wind started to pick up, so it was kind of holding the discs out there a little bit. John comes up a little bit short. These guys are trying to put the hyzer around that tree. Logan early releases. It just carries way left. I think it might have been a right to left wind, so you have to punch it through this gap if you want to get to the basket, which Adrian does really well. Just hits it hard through the gap. Gets a big swing and a perfect skip to the basket. That's exactly how you want to play the hole. Adam going for a little bit more of the flexi line. However, in the right to left, it just catches that right to left once it starts turning, gets to the ground and cut rolls left. So he's going to have quite the upshot to get up and down for par. And it looks like he just swooped it up on a little bit too much hyzer. I think it carried to the green, so he'll be putting for his bogey, I believe. Yeah. Logan, just a little upshot for his par. Shouldn't be a problem. Oh, I thought that was in. Really good bid. So yeah, this is his bogey putt. And there you go, that's a good save. Everyone's going to tap out while Adrian's just sitting there under the basket. That was a great shot. Hole 7, really tough hole. The basket's sitting up on that mound with the lake on the right. So if you happen to pull something or hit that big tree like Steve did in the first round, you could kick into the lake. But you really just want to punch something to the basket. The lefty plays really good. Or the little kind of hyzer flip to flex like Adrian threw. but this is definitely a tricky hole. Logan is actually playing this one for par, so he's throwing short kind of by this hill and just trying to give himself a little upshot and just get out of here with a par. Adam throwing the big high turnover, which actually does play because you can get it over all those trees and just push that backside. So he's going to have a putt for the birdie. That's a good shot there. Logan with a little bit of work for his par, but a good little touchy backhand executed well. Here's John from deep. Oh, and hits a good birdie putt. That was like 50 feet up the hill. He's stoked on that. Oh, and there you go. That's a really good birdie from Adam on a difficult hole. So that's going to be crawling some of those strokes back. And Adrian for another good birdie. Keep his good start going.
Oh, I saw the shadow.
So we saw this disc shadow fly, and then the disc flew right in front of Adrian's face. He wasn't super happy about it, so we gave him some time to reset, and now here his birdie putt is, and connects on the birdie putt after being a bit razzed by the disc flying right in front of his face. That was a bit sketchy. And Logan just cleaning up his par. All right, here's Adrian on hole 8. It's a par 4. You really need a solid drive out there to have a good opportunity for the birdie. Looks like he does that pretty good. Fading out a little bit, but he will definitely have a solid shot into the green. John Ryan threw the roller last round, but he's just going to keep it in the air this time. Trying to flex this PD2. Comes out a little bit early, but he will still have a shot into the green. Adam going with the Wind Dragon. Probably a little bit too much flex out of the hand. Doesn't quite want to get out of it, but it does slide up a bit. He's also going to still have a shot into the green. And Logan throwing that little hyzer flip to turn shot. Just goes dead straight. Fades out a little bit, but he will have a shot into the green as well. So first, we'll see Adam. He's going to have to throw a little flex shot because he has this tree on his right side. And pretty unlucky to hit that pole there. But it did look like it was going to be turning over, but he's going to have a pretty tough par save now. Here's Logan from probably a bit over 300 if I had to guess, playing uphill too. Looks like he's throwing a fairway driver of some sort. I kind of lost it, but it ends up on that right hand side. John Ryan's going with, I think this is like a MD5 if I had to guess. Just punches it straight, slides off the green, and puts it in the circle. I'm not sure exactly how close that is, but it's up there. Adam throws a decent looking forehand, just kind of comes out a little bit early. He'll have a long look to the basket or just a easy pitch up for the bogey. See Adrian here, doesn't have too much in. Looks like he leaks it a little bit left, but he will have a putt. Yeah, Adam's just pitching that one up. It's too far to give it a run. Here's Adrian from about 40. A little tentative on that one. And Logan from probably just outside the circle. Yeah, also a little bit tentative on the sloped green here while John taps in his birdie. Hole 9, straightforward par 3. We got the OB green on the right of the basket. It looks like Johns is fading out over there a little bit. And actually gets kind of a brutal big skip off the thicker grass onto it. So he's going to be putting for par. Adrian throwing a wider hyzer away from the green towards the basket. And pretty much parks it. It looks like he might have gone a little long there. Logan going to be trying to play the same type of line. Keeps it a little bit inside, but gets a good little check skip. He's going to be inside the circle probably. And then Adam also going wide, giving it a little bit of height. And just glides out left. He'll be putting as well. So here's John for his par, about 30 feet or so. Just a little bit low. Going to be taking a bogey. Adam also just a little bit low. That would have been a nice putt under the tree there. And Logan can take 2 back on John. Put himself within 5 here. And does so. Good capitalization there. Adrian's also going to get 2 on John. So hole 10, another shorter par 3, but it's not easy. You got the basket just past the bunker, but to me it's really a hyzer line. So something funny, right before Adrian threw this shot, we were feeling a left to right wind. And then somehow it like switched mid-shot, so it completely carried his disc. That's why we were all surprised about that. And now Logan opts to go with this distance driver and take it extra wide, opposed to kind of throwing that inside line, knowing the left to right's going to push it. He knows the right to left is going to swing it hard, and gets up there inside the circle. Adam kind of throwing almost a little like stall shot, puts it on a little bit of angle out of the hand, pushes straight and then swings back, so he's also going to be well inside the circle there. John Ryan just throwing a hyzer with the lefty backhand, but his disc just flipped up and went too straight, so he's going to have a long look for the birdie there. Here's Adrian. John's right by Adrian, so just a jump putt, maybe giving it a bid, but just trying to leave it close there. I'm sure John's trying to run this, though. Yep, definitely was, just a little bit short. And Logan to take another one. So he's going to be 4 back of John now, which is definitely doable in 8 holes. Especially with all the OB greens and stuff, there's definitely a lot of opportunities for 2-stroke swings. So longer par 3 here, around 400 feet, playing a little bit shorter down the hill. You really want to hang something over the green out of the hand. Logan knows that it wasn't great, and he's going to have a pretty much just an upshot for the get up and down for the par. Adam trying to get this to hold over a little bit, doesn't quite commit to the angle, so he misses left, but that definitely is the miss on this hole. Adrian comes up a little bit short with this disc last round, so he's going to try to put a little bit more on it. Throws it pretty solid, gets the flip up, but just gets held up a little bit short. I think there might have been like a little headwind or something. I remember everything was being held up a little bit here. John throws a really good looking shot, but just holds over to the left. He'll have a putt, but a long one. Adam giving that a pretty good bid from distance. He's got a long jump putt. Looks like John was just kind of laying that up, maybe giving it a long bid. But Logan's definitely going to try to give this a bid, knowing he's got a couple strokes to make up. And gives it a decent bid, just fades out. Same with Adrian. He's going to want to give this a bid. Ooh, definitely does so, just also a little bit short. A little early. A couple of good bids from deep, but it's a tougher birdie, especially when the wind picks up a little bit. Hole 12, we got a par 4 uphill. You want to just put something in the center, and then you'll have an uphill upshot just past the green with a downslope right behind it. So Logan's leaking a little bit, but he's going to be in pretty good position overall. See if can Adam get this angle right. Just kind of leaks it on hyzer as well. He's going to be over on that left side. He'll have a shot up to the green though. Adrian with the wind dragon. Hyzer release.
Oh yeah.
You could see or hear that I liked it. It turned over hard, but it's going to be way up there over to the right. John's going to try to smash this PD2. Cranks it over, and it's holding over for him this time. Gets a skip up there. He's going to have a little bit of a tree to contend with, but he'll have a shot. Here's Adam. Looks to be solid. I kind of lost it there, but there it is. So I guess he'll just have a little bit of work to get up and down, but it shouldn't be too bad. Here's Logan. He had a similar shot round one. It's really just the hyzer pushing those trees. That right little bush-looking tree. Play it up there. Pretty good. A little low out of the hand. Kind of got the early skip opposed to gliding up the hill, but he should have a putt. So John actually didn't really have a tree to contend with. There was a good looking upshot. Might be a little bit left of the basket though. There's Adrian with some short distance in, just kind of leaks the sidearm. He probably didn't want to hang it over the green too much and ends up just leaking it right. Adam trying to give it a long floaty bid, but it seemed like the wind held it over. It's definitely windy out there. You can hear it, but you can't see it too much on the trees. Yeah, you could see John a little tentative on that one. There's a super steep slope on this one behind it. This would be a big putt for Adrian. And a good bid just hits the cage again. I don't know how many times he's hit the cage in this tournament, but he's had a lot of really good bids, just like a little bit low. And Logan doesn't convert on that one either. That would have been a big one to get him within 3. Gonna have to settle for the par.
Not good enough, boys. Nope.
13, little shorty. We got the bunker right behind the basket and the green to the left. Really just want to play something stable. Push it over to the basket. That shot was a little high out of the hand, but checks up next to the basket. Ends up being really good in the end. Adam pushing something straight and high, but a little bit too inside. That's probably going to go on the green. Yeah, so he's going to be putting for par. Adrian probably going to try to swing this a little bit more. And does so. Just doesn't give it the right height. Or maybe the wind got under it and flipped it a little more than he expected. Either way, he's going to be pretty far out for the birdie putt. And John's going to try to forehand this over the green. But early releases, he's going to be skipping away from the basket as well. You really want to trust that forehand over the green, just knowing that it should skip off of it, and give yourself a close birdie putt. Yeah, Adrian kind of just laid that up. The wind was a bit swirly, and there's bunker and green right behind it, so he said, I'll pass on that one. See if John wants any of it. And he did, but it was a safe bid, and it stayed right by the basket, even with the air ball. Adam giving that a bid for his par, but not connecting. Here's Logan to take another one. Another solid birdie.
Tap out if you want.
And that's just a little bit of a miscue again. I think he's having a little bit of confidence issues on the putting green, so he's probably just a little bit in his head, but we all go through that sometimes. Here's Logan throwing the hyzer. That's a pretty solid shot right on the face. Should be like 15, 20 feet. Adrian going with something a little bit straighter. Trying to play the straighter line. Looks to have done so. Just fading out a little bit. Kind of gets the skip on the downslope and rides off to the left a lot more than he wanted. John playing that surprisingly shorter. He kind of threw that soft. Maybe thought the wind would carry it, but he's going to be a little bit further from the basket than he wanted to. And Adam just early release in this, but he will have a putt for birdie.
Yes, sir.
Tough bid there with that low ceiling branch. If you hit it, you're probably going to roll away, so not surprised at a low miss there. And also a circle's edge miss from John, a little bit surprising. He's been all over it from that range. Same thing with Adrian, just didn't want it to lift and hit that branch. And a pretty brutal dead center spit out there, but he's still going to have the lead, but it's going to start to get close here. Logan's going to pick up 2 right there, being that John got that dead center spit out. And another little putting woe from Adam. Like I said, probably just a little bit in his head about the putting. So we got a 1-stroke ball game now with John and Logan and Adrian a couple back. Adam actually at this point decided to DNF. He was having some pretty bad shoulder issues, so he decided it would probably just be best to not finish the round. So it's just going to be John, Logan, and Adrian for the rest of the round here. Logan gives himself a short upshot, but doesn't quite go for it. Adrian is fully sending it and almost aces it. He actually kicks off the tree down to parked next to the basket, so he's going to be getting at least 1 stroke on Logan here. John sees that, also is trying to go for the eagle. That was a pretty good forehand shot, just comes up a little bit short, but he's going to be around the circle. See if Logan wants any of this, knowing that John has an eagle putt, and nope, just going to say I'll take my birdie for now. Try to make up those strokes later. And John bangs a good putt and gets one back. That's a huge putt coming down the stretch for the separation there. Adrian also getting an eagle. That's 2 eagles in this round for Adrian and John. This is going to be a big hole. It's a tougher birdie. Adrian just leaks it a little bit and ends up going out of bounds. So he's going to be shooting up there for his par putt. This will be a big birdie if John can get this. And he parks it, so that is huge. He's going to have 2 strokes going into the last 2 holes. So Logan knows he needs this one. Not sure if he's paying attention to scores or not either.
Stop.
Throws a really good looking shot and just slides under that OB fence. So he's going to be putting for par. Pretty brutal coming down the stretch, but you definitely got to, kind of play something that goes straight. If you turn it over, you have a chance at sliding under that fence and going OB. Another good bid from Adrian. He knows He's been all over that basket. And this is a huge putt for Logan. And just doesn't connect. Misses a little bit wide right. And John will take 2 more. Going up 4 in the last 2 holes. So Logan's going to kind of need a miracle here.
A lot. I didn't count them, but a lot. Especially this round.
So, yep, Logan's 4 back now. He's going to need something pretty brutal to happen. And John throws a decent-looking shot. Looked like it had a chance at going OB, actually, but kicked the stake and stays in bounds. So that's going to probably secure him the par at worst on this hole. That almost locks in the win, barring something crazy happening on 18, which I just don't see happening with how good he's been playing. Adrian throws a good-looking shot, almost rolled back, but actually stays inbounds, so he's going to have a birdie putt. Logan absolutely needs this, though, if he wants any chance. Good-looking shot. And parks it. Maybe goes a little bit long, but essentially puts it to 15 feet or so. He's been pretty good from that range. And yep, John getting up and down. So it's going to be a 3-stroke difference going into 18, which isn't impossible to make up, but it's tough when your leader's playing solid. Obviously, that's why they're in the lead. Adrian gets a little bit of a brutal chain out. It could have stuck, but high left isn't the best place to make putts. And Logan's going to get that stroke back. So it's going to be 22-19. Logan almost has to eagle this, but you never know. And just pops it up a little bit early. There is an OB line on that left side, and Logan's going to find it. So you pretty much think that kind of ends his run at it, as long as John can just throw something decent here, which there's no OB right, so he's going to be inbounds and having a shot for his birdie. 4. Yep, that's up there. Here's Adrian just to finish with a solid finish. And that looks like a great shot. Oh my, almost going onto the green OB, but he's going to have a look for a long eagle even. So Logan probably knows he's pretty much out of the running for the win, but wants to get it up there, doesn't want to give any chance of Adrian catching him somehow. So even if he takes a bogey, then Adrian can't get to 18 down. So bogey at worst, throws it up there. He's going to have a look for the par, but it's probably going to be bogey at worst. Just trying to secure his second place at this point.
Yeah, but you scared him out of me at the beginning.
Yep, you heard him saying you scared him. Adrian scared him. That's who he's talking to, because he got a bunch of early strokes. But John gets it up there. Adrian tosses it up there for the birdie. And here's Logan's par putt. I thought that was in, just a little bit soft, tentative. Doesn't want to give himself any comebacker. Probably knows he doesn't necessarily need that one. And Adrian finishing out the round with a solid 10 down on that round. Really good shooting. There's Logan tapping out, so that way John can tap out for the win with the birdie. And that's it. So, congrats, John Ryan, on your win. Like I said, this kid's 14 years old, really solid player, shooting 23 down, a 13, and a 10. And he's got game both arms. Apparently in the comments on the last video, they said he's got a backhand and forehand on both arms. So watch out for this kid. He's going to be really good in a couple of years. He's already really good, but it's just going to get better. Final leaderboard, John Ryan, Logan Turner at 18, Adrian 16 total, Steve Key 1 down, and Adam Martinez just DNF with the injury. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.